You're listening.
You're listening.
You're listening
to the International Posit Podcast Network. What happens is a bunch of guys sit around in a circle, and there's a guy in the center of the room with a giant bucket of water. And inside that bucket of water, he has inside of a pantyhose.
Very ceremonial pantyhose.
Welcome to Three Guys, Three Questions, where three friends test the limits of propriety through the questions we ask. Today is Cuatro de Mayo 2015. This is episode 1 of season 4. This week, we are sponsored by Unix-based systems, Compies, and Life, which finds a way. All right. I'm Aaron L.M. Goodwin, and I'm joined as always by Andrew Savage. Say hello, Andrew.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, that's good to hear you guys again.
We should record hi a bunch of times and then put it in like right after that, so it sounds like everybody's saying hello back to Andrew.
Hi.
You should just do
The whole crowd of
cheers like when everyone walks in. There's no.
Yeah, Andrew, we love you.
I'm also joined by Adam, not David Sedaris Anderson. In case you have been confused, we just want to clear that up.
Yeah, I did go to see David Sedaris yesterday in Salt Lake City.
And that was possible because you are not him.
Right.
Unless maybe you like got a mirror or something, but that's a weird roundabout way of saying that.
But he's just been on my mind recently, and I can't get over the fact that he wore culottes on stage while he was reading. And that just like, he's my hero now.
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna wear culottes? Are you wearing culottes right now?
I can't pull off culottes.
If you're new to the show, here's how it works. Each host asks a question, then each host gives their answer. Hilarity hopefully ensues, and we move to the next question. I have today's first question, so I'm going to tell it to you. Are you ready?
Okay, that was a little bit too much information.
Do I have a choice?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Just get ready. I want you to be ready.
Please don't be weird.
My question is, what lesson does life keep trying to teach you?
I feel like having the first answer of the new season is like a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, you should
because you introduced.
You're kind of setting the pace for the whole thing, you know?
Like not only this show, but for the entire season. And you introduced this segment by saying hilarity hopefully ensues. And unfortunately, my answer is decidedly not hilarious.
Don't worry, we'll make fun of you. It'll be funny.
Okay, good. Awesome. Well, let's go. Let's just be sad. Basically life is trying to teach me that failure is okay and I just needed to be able to deal with it.
Because you just can't succeed?
Or you just keep failing?
Yeah, I did poorly in my classes this semester. So
oh man, I'm sorry.
So when you say you did poorly, are you one of those buttheads that's like, oh man, this semester totally kicked my butt. Oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to get my GPA back up. And you look at it and it's like they got like 2 A- and they're really upset about that.
And 1 B or something.
Yeah. All the rest is A++++.
So I got a B+.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
And B-.
Okay.
And 3 Ds.
Whoa! Triple D.
I don't know how your school works, but I think you have to take those classes over again.
I do, in fact.
Okay.
So,
oh no. So
yeah. I mean, like it's.
Are you gonna blame this podcast? I think you should. I think we're responsible for that. I think we should take responsibility.
I mean, like
what do you think,
all
Andrew?
the things I could blame this podcast for, that was not one of them.
Are you on academic probation now?
No, I'm not. But I am, because, I mean, here's the decidedly, like, not funny part. Isn't just the fact that I pretty much failed my classes, but I'm pretty sure it's because, like, this semester I started struggling with depression, which is just like, hey, let's be a little bit too honest here. And
the first show of the season went to a very sour place.
Adam's failing.
He's got depression.
Andy's depressed.
Okay, keep going.
Do you want to talk about? I mean, while we're on the subject, to talk about how your your dog died that you had for 10 years?
My dog's alive still, unless my mom hasn't told me because she's like, oh, that'll just make him more sad.
Well, this is uncomfortable.
Because I don't know you know this, but we talk to your mom all the time.
Look, me and your mom just we wanted to tell you, but we didn't think this was the right time.
Okay.
Anyway, back to.
So you got to take some classes again. So you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna next time you take that class, you're gonna freaking be the best student of that class.
Well, like,
you know what I mean? You're gonna be like, I already know.
I mean, like, I'm trying to look at the silver lining, which is basically just like, yeah, I failed at something, but it's not like I didn't try. Like, it's not like I just gave up. You know.
Yeah.
It's like I still gave 100%. It's just that my 100% this semester is like 10% of what it was.
Is that really the bright side of things? Because I feel better when I'm like, I failed, but I really didn't try, so I feel okay. Because I'm
that's how you justify
I'm
it.
still smart. I just didn't try.
I could have done it, but I didn't want to.
Well, I don't like the phrase could have. Like, oh, I could have done better. Like, I couldn't have done better. And so this is what I get. You know?
I think that's a good attitude.
But I can do better next semester, right?
Yep, I think so. You know, and if it consoles you at all, just know that I took what course? I can't remember what course it was, but it was basically a college level algebra course. I ended up taking it 4 times. So there you go.
No, and I just feel like life is trying to teach me that basically everyone needs one big old failure in their life, and then it builds character.
It's good for you. Do you feel like you have increased character?
I feel strongly characterized by the author of my life.
Nice.
Isn't that you?
This semester's really fleshed your character.
It really has. I'm like Calvin, except if he had gone outside and done chores and built character.
Sounds good. Andrew, what lesson does life keep trying to teach you?
That people aren't thinking about me as often as I think they are.
Oh man.
And what I mean by that is not that like, oh, they're just like, but I think people in general, I'm always self-aware of who I am and the things I do. And I continually relearn the fact that people are more concerned about themselves, like I am about myself.
Nobody's paying attention.
No one's paying attention or cares. And I think I can look.
Hold on. I got to write this down.
Why is that?
Because it's a good lesson.
Okay, it's a good lesson.
That's why I always find people who care a lot about what other people think amusing. Because I think I learned that lesson way early on that like people are just not paying attention. People don't pay attention. It's not that they're stupid or they're selfish or self-involved. It's just like the level of attention that I pay is not normal. And I assumed it was. So I assumed everyone's like that. But
yeah.
Turns out they're not.
And I think that's the problem because I pay attention to like everything and everyone, like kind of similar to you, I guess.
Yeah.
And so like I recognize when like people are like doing something differently or whatever. So I'm super aware of that. So I assume other people care too about the things that I do, but that is not true.
No, it's not.
It reminds me when I was like, when you're like in elementary school and you have like a little hole in your pants, you're like, oh man, everyone can see my underwear now. And then like when you're in high school and college, you're like, man, people just do not care.
My problem with learning that lesson is that I am kind of hyper aware of other people. Like I'm extremely judgmental. Like I'll see strangers and then make up reasons to hate them. So I just assume that's what everyone does, but apparently
just
not.
Sitting there in class fuming at some people.
I know.
They're probably a misogynist. He has a ponytail. You know what that means.
They probably kick their dog.
I think the corollary to the nobody cares thing, like a really interesting part of that is that once you really realize that, you realize how much you could really get away with.
Oh yeah.
Like my experience lately with a lot of things is to realize that things I was stressing out about, that I was like busting my butt over trying to get, to improve and do better, like obsessing over, nobody really cares. I can pretty much do what I want, and it's it's okay.
Especially in like a work or school environment, that's an amazing thing to learn.
Yeah, exactly. That you can like show up late.
Yeah.
That you can basically walk, like that you could go probably anywhere. And if you just have the right attitude, you can walk into whatever room you want or do whatever you
definitely.
want. Like, yeah, it's amazing.
More so in Idaho because all the doors are unlocked and you can just walk in and start watching TV. Like, hey, do I know you? Oh, like, yeah, I'm friends with your roommate. And they just sit and let you watch TV for hours.
Oh, man.
It's one of my, like, do you guys have like these public fantasies where you're just like, this is how I want to experiment with the public, but it's just, you've never done it?
Yeah.
Do you guys have those? One of my public fantasies is to just see how many places I can walk into that I'm not supposed to be in if I just like hold a clipboard or something.
Like if you just walk with your face forward,
Yeah, just
eye on the prize, holding a clipboard, nobody's really going to ask you
as
questions.
long as you're wearing a suit, you can go anywhere as long as you're walking pretty quickly.
yeah, and just frown
Yeah,
a little bit, like you're judging everything. like this is an evaluation.
Like you're smug and superior.
See, my favorite thing to do is try to not necessarily annoy people, but offend people as much as possible before they like confront me about it. So like
To see what to test their breaking point.
it's really bad.
As a corollary to that, I like to make friends.
Oh, okay. No, I like friends too, but like sometimes it's just like, I wonder how loud I can get my music before someone tells me to stop. Like test their niceness. Because I'm like super chill about it. I'm like, oh man, sorry, it's so loud. Let me turn it down. And I'm like, 20 minutes. Write it down.
Or like one of those people that you have decided is a horrible person. You're like, I'm going to annoy that person. That way they'll react to me and I'll know that they're a horrible person.
No, I don't do that.
Oh.
So everyone who's listening to this show, who's always had a beef against Andrew, who's like, he kind of bugs me. Guess what?
It was on purpose.
He's been pranking you this whole time.
That's probably half true. The other half is I'm also pretty annoying. So no, I'm joking.
Well, all right. You put me in an awkward space.
I'm joking.
The lesson that life keeps trying to teach me is it's an acronym that a friend of ours that we all know, Lance, who is a wise shaman, if you will.
Well, he is Native American, so
He is.
so he is pretty wise.
It's GOYA, and it stands for Get Over Yourself, Aaron.
Oh.
I say it to myself a lot. But it's funny because
It's funny because
all three of us.
he uses it so much, and half the time it doesn't even apply to me. He'll tell someone else GOYA, and they understand that they're being like me and they need to get over themselves.
Oh, see, I saw that in the show notes, and I thought it was just like a Dragon Ball Z character or something.
I thought
Goya.
it was the beans, the Mexican beans. Goya. It's like,
Goya beans.
I really don't know what that means.
Goya brand.
Frijoles.
I mean, if we want to apply it to other people, we could say it's get over yourself already.
Get over yourself already. Yeah. Because I think like the truth of it is that a lot of times life is teaching me that things that I just need to like stop to not be selfish. Does that make sense? To not. And I always find like really unique and benevolent ways to be selfish is the thing.
You're really good at it.
Like I think I find some way around it to justify
finding new ways to be self-centered.
it.
You're a pioneer, Aaron.
Yeah. I'm really a thought leader.
A Thomas Edison of just egomania.
It's like a subtle thing, but it's funny because Lance noticed. Like that, I think a lot of people maybe wouldn't notice that. I don't know. I don't know if I come off that way. Maybe I don't know, but it's yeah. It's
Well, I mean, you
funny
do have a
'cause-
podcast, so
yeah, I'm really opinionated, and sometimes I let my opinions get in the way of like
your character.
yeah. So life tells me to get over myself. That's it, all over and over again. GOYA. So hey, if you ever find me being a jerk, you can just tell me GOYA.
That's the name of our other
I know.
podcast.
Our new podcast, GOYA.
Yeah, that's our sister podcast on the IPPN. All right, so my question is, how much money and or power would it take to corrupt you?
So I'm first, and the answer is not very much. So I have to ask you, what level of corruption are we talking about? Like stealing, or are we going all the way to murder?
Okay, so I want to, let's break it down to a couple levels. Let's say the first level is how much money would it take for you to reach into a dirty toilet and grab it out of the bowl? And level 2 is how much money would it take for you to steal something? And level 3 is how much money would it take for you to murder someone who does not deserve it, an innocent person.
I like this. I like this scale.
Man, this is getting
This is
intense.
like, okay, so the toilet is anything over a 20.
Like a dirty toilet with like a turd in it?
Yeah, when there's pee-pee in the middle.
I stand by my 20.
What? Really?
With your bare hands. No gloves, by the way.
Like, it has to be it has to be a little bit like anything less than that, like a 1 or a 5 or even a 10 would be like, I don't know. I don't think so. But with 20, I'd be like, dude, I gotta freaking find some gloves somewhere.
Well, yeah, if I had gloves, I'd do it for like 5. Like,
There's no gloves.
Whatever.
No gloves allowed. Like, you have
No
to
gloves?
fully submerge your hand in sewage water.
Oh yeah, 20 probably. It's just I can wash my hands. I'm not too worried about that.
man, yeah.
And the other one, what was the other level? Stealing from someone?
Stealing is the second level.
Does it have to be someone who's innocent, like from like a? So I can't like rob some mobsters or something.
Yeah, it's not somebody who deserves it.
Dang it. Okay.
But what if they really do?
It would have to be a lot of money, and I'd have to enough money where I could like forget my terrible actions.
Like $1,000?
I was gonna say like 10,000, but okay.
10,000. Okay.
I don't know, at least not have to pay rent for a year or two or something.
How much?
$10,000.
Andrew would go to hell for $10,000.
That's how much your soul is worth,
Yep.
huh?
There's a price tag on it and everything. Just hang out with it.
So then, what about the killing?
I would have
somebody?
to have
So,
a
like,
lot of money.
Like $1 million?
It'd have to be more than $1 million. It'd have to be like 200 million or something like that.
You're not even going to go to $1 billion. You're just like 200 million, burn forever.
No, let's be honest. Like if someone's offering me,
let's be realistic.
let's be
here,
realistic.
guys.
If someone's offering me $1 billion to kill someone, I'm not seeing that money. They're gonna murder me. I just know how.
They're just throwing out the biggest number
Yeah,
they can.
if somebody
at that
offers you
point.
$1 billion to kill somebody, they're just going to pay somebody else like $1 million to kill you.
Yeah, someone with less scruples than me and my 200 million.
Like, I'm interested in hearing you defend this. Like, why $200 million? Like, why would you do it at all?
Well, the thing is you didn't say. I'm not gonna be that guy and say no amount of money could make me do that, because like it would have to be like, yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, like, nothing bad would happen to you if you turned this down. You just don't get $200 million.
I don't know. I just like I don't have like a deep answer for you. I'm like, this is just where I'm at in my life right now, Adam. This is where
It's
you've
like-
met me.
I could really use $200 million, you know?
If the thought of not having to work for the rest of my life makes me start to consider to ending someone else's. I'm just saying. I just really hate work. Is what
I'm a little frightened now.
I don't know if my answers to this question are gonna make anything like be any more interesting, because so toilet wise,
No gloves, remember.
no gloves. You know what? No, okay. Now that I really think, before I was thinking about it, I was like, maybe just a little bit more than Andrew. But now that I think about it, like sometimes I blow like $100 on something really stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like I bought like $50 worth of jerky on Amazon the other day.
Dude, that's an investment though. That increases in value.
It is. It's freaking delicious. You know what? Like it'd have to be like $100. I think.
Really?
I think I could watch as like $50 gets flushed down the drain.
Really?
Wow.
I could.
Man, you just must have more money than me.
Money's not important to me.
I'd probably reach in there for a $5, honestly.
Really?
I think I cried once watching a Pez dispenser get flushed down the toilet. Just saying.
Well, that's different.
Like, I can wash my hands.
Yeah, but it's funny because I bet out of the three of us, I am the least cleanly. Like I'm the most like dirty, not washing my hands, like, you know what I mean? I'm not like overly obsessed with cleanliness, but I still wouldn't do that.
What if it was a clean toilet? Like you just flushed the toilet.
I don't care how clean the toilet is. It's the turd floating
No.
around
Like
in there I
you
don't
just
wanna touch.
flushed the toilet. and then you drop you drop some money in there.
Oh yeah, for like $1. Yeah, that doesn't bug me.
So
It's just
I
the
have to
poop.
tell a story real quick.
Okay.
So last semester, we had a roommate.
You
was
killed
kinda
someone
weird.
for $200 million. That's how you
No,
know.
man, I would not be here, man.
That's how he knows his price.
But that's how I know because of experience. But no, so this roommate, he was kind of weird, and he really didn't talk to us. And I'm pretty sure he was smoking pot all the time in his room. So we're like, this guy's weird,
Or normal.
or just a college student, or normal, yeah. But anyway, so he would like never wash his hands after he used the bathroom.
Mm.
And I'm like, dude, you should probably wash your hands. That's kind of gross. And he's like, oh man, I just went to pee. I didn't touch anything. I'm like, okay, whatever, man. That's still gross. So I started rubbing my butt on the doorknob. So even if he didn't,
Was this some sort of like petty revenge, or
yeah, this is like I didn't even tell him.
like was this you just secretly rubbed your butt on
You
the
would rub
doorknobs?
was it your bare cheek?
Yeah, it was just my bare cheek. Like I didn't get like all up in there or anything like that. But I was just because it was like where I take a shower, so I was like, might as well take advantage of them while I wait for the water to warm up. Just so I could know that when he didn't wash his hands, I'm like, dude, man, you got butt on you.
I'm bored and my butt itches, so I may as well get this weird little bit of revenge.
This really ties in greatly to my
Let's
last.
be honest. This isn't about your roommate's cleanliness. This is about you wanting to put that doorknob on your butt.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it happened like on accident to begin with. I was like, wait a minute.
On accident. Right.
Hey, you know what? This is my story. You can't sarcastically suggest other things.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
So this really speaks volumes of the last question I answered too. So
So, as far as killing anybody, okay, wait, what was the next level up from the toilet?
stealing from someone.
No, I have a follow-up question for Andrew though. How much
Oh.
money would it take for you to put your roommate's hand in your mouth after he had just gone to the bathroom?
It would have to be a lot of money.
More or less than $200 million.
Well, it'd probably be less than $200 million, but it wouldn't be less than $100,000.
I'm learning all kinds of stuff now.
All right, so
About me and the fact that my desire to not work is way more than my cleanliness or my desire to hurt other people.
Yes. So Aaron,
Okay.
all right, back to Aaron. Yeah, the level number 2 is stealing something from someone who doesn't deserve it.
I couldn't do it. Honestly. I can steal like a Sammy, like a sandwich. That's what the cool kids call it. Just like for our listeners who aren't as cool as me and didn't understand that. I could steal like a taco or a burrito or something, you know, like I could like if they left like a bag of M&Ms somewhere, I could steal some M&Ms.
So you're saying that your limit is 65 cents.
I just think like I can't steal money.
Yeah.
And it has to be something that's like edible. I think.
A long time ago, I came up with a plan of what I would do if I was homeless. Like,
Yeah.
I would go into a Taco Bell or some other, similar place. And I'd just kind of like hang around like while it was really busy. And then they would just like because they just throw the food on the counter and be like, order number, whatever. And then they just walk away.
You just pick it up
and leave. I mean,
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
who's going to stop a homeless man walking with food?
Excuse me, that's mine. Thank you for buying me food, sir. You're so
Excuse me,
kind.
sir. That's mine. Is like, and I don't have a house. And then you just walk away.
Yeah, but the next time you're not going to be able to get to that place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to go back.
Yeah. That's the downfall of that
At least
plan.
3 or 4 times. Got to rotate.
Well, I mean, I feel like you could just do this like as you're meandering across the country.
What do you think homeless people do?
I think they just walk from one side of the country to the other.
No,
Is that
that's
not what they do?
No.
That's what I would do if I was homeless.
I think there are parts of the country you want to be in when you're homeless,
Yeah.
and parts of the country you don't want to be in when you're like, no homeless person wants to be in Minnesota in the
Well,
winter.
I'm not
No.
saying they go to Michigan. Like, I'm not saying they go north and south, the east and west. So, like, from Southern California to Florida or something.
There's a whole lot of emptiness in
Yeah,
the middle,
there's
though.
a-
You know what I mean? Hitchhiking from like LA to Phoenix. All right, but like from Phoenix to like Dallas, that's a long way.
Especially if you're not
in
in a
between. There's a
vehicle.
whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. I would do a lot of wandering if I was homeless.
I would just go up and down California coast.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. That wouldn't be
Anyway.
too bad.
Hey, we should move on to another question.
All right. And I'm assuming, Aaron, that you wouldn't murder anyone.
Yeah, I wouldn't murder anybody. I couldn't. No, I couldn't ever. I don't even like hitting people. Like, I don't get angry. I don't think I could.
What if they deserved it? What if they were a bad person?
What if killing that person was going to save other people innocent lives?
Oh, great.
Like, what if?
Like, unless a voice came from the heavens saying, "Aaron, I command you to kill this man."
Like, what if it was Osama bin Laden?
It's not my job. Like, I don't feel like that's my place. I'm a pacifist, guys.
Well, did Adam answer his own question?
I mean, like, I kind of did, but I mean,
Yeah,
Oh,
he did.
yeah.
We kind of like mixed them all up.
I would reach into a toilet for a $5. I think I already said that, and then I probably wouldn't steal anything unless I was homeless. And if I was homeless, I would steal like food, probably.
Would you kill somebody for money?
No, I wouldn't kill somebody for money.
Why am I
Okay,
the? You guys just set me up
that's
with
what I
this
was
question.
thinking.
That's what happened.
I asked everyone this question.
I'm like honestly trying to think of it, and they're like, "No, let's set up Andrew so he sounds like he's a terrible person."
No, it's
No, it's the thing is you are a
the only
terrible
person who made you
because
sound
you're
like
the
a
only
terrible
one who
person was
answered
you.
that.
You're the one who said you would kill someone for $200 million.
No, because I was really thinking it. There's no, that can't be the answer. It's like, no, I just wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't know.
No, you're a liar.
I can't believe you would do it. That's all I'm
I
saying.
really would not do that.
I mean, you have to really put yourself in that situation mentally.
I did, and I have decided no.
Here's the thing: I wouldn't like really do those things ever. I got to save my.
So you're just a liar.
I'm just a liar.
Is what you're saying.
Right, so you were just lying to make you seem more honest than us.
Yes.
Look how that backfired.
No, I'm just saying.
So apparently we know that Andrew will lie for free. Doesn't he? We don't even have to pay him.
It's really easy. I don't think you guys understand.
It's for that podcast money.
I don't think people understand how easy and effective it is just to lie sometimes. I feel bad, but it's just like it's just the easiest way to go about being a human being.
Honest people really are suckers. Because like they go through all this work when you could just lie. Nobody's gonna know. And if they do, they're probably a liar too, so they won't call you out.
Mom, if you're listening, I just want you to know that I do not condone this action.
Okay, so my question, what would be the most embarrassing question for your future children to ask you about your past? And I think Aaron is first.
I think that question would come up because they would find a picture that I have, and I don't know why there's photographic evidence of this. And I wanted to get it to share with you guys, but this was taken before the days of digital cameras. And I don't know where this picture is at. I know I have it, but it's packed away somewhere. But my children would ask, what's about this tattoo on your shoulders? And it's because they would have found this picture of my bare, large fat man back. And across the whole like upper part of my back, it was a very, very gangster, like old script style tattoo that says G-Dub.
I've seen this picture and it's amazing.
You saw that?
Yes, you showed it to me at some point. I don't know.
I never saw it.
I couldn't tell you where it was, but
Oh.
I've seen this and it's glorious.
So this happened. The story behind this picture is embarrassing because like seeing the picture and being like, oh, it's something. They know I don't have a tattoo now. Okay. I don't have anything on my back now.
And
but-
they'll know this because you're constantly shirtless all the time.
All the time. Always shirtless.
I was
Always
going
walk
to say,
around
like,
shirtless.
I'm imagining a future though where they find this picture and then they start thinking, have you ever seen Dad without his shirt on? Does he have this tattoo? Has he been hiding this from us this whole time?
Does he have a torso? I don't understand.
So, I don't know if you know what kava is.
I do.
I do.
Listeners who may not know what kava
They're
is,
multicultural enough to understand.
it
is
is a Polynesian. I believe it is a root.
Yeah, I think it is a root.
That Polynesians consume for let's say for ceremonial purposes.
But it's like a tea, right? Like you boil it.
So, well, you don't boil it. What you do is you get a giant. You the way the kava, and I use the term lightly, ceremony works.
The ceremony is basically just, hey, let's have a kava party.
There are kava ceremonies, so I'm not belittling that.
That has happened at some point in time.
That is a real thing. But what I participated in was a quote unquote ceremony.
For all intents and purposes, ceremony.
Now, what happens is a bunch of guys sit around in a circle, and there's a guy in the center of the room with a giant bucket of water. And inside that bucket of water, he has inside of a pantyhose.
Very ceremonial pantyhose.
Yeah, ceremonial pantyhose. Inside that ceremonial pantyhose, he has put a ground up root of the kava plant. And then he kind of knots it up so it's just in this bag that's the liquid goes through, and it's like a tea bag, right?
It's like a giant tea bag made out of pantyhose and roots.
Ceremonial pantyhose tea bag. Show title. No one will listen.
They're going to be very confused for like 40 minutes. Like, why are we?
Am I allowed to listen to this one? And they massage it under the water. They massage the ceremonial pantyhose tea bag under the water in the bucket, and so it slowly leaches out the chemicals and I don't want to say hallucinogens.
I wonder how much THP.
It's not hallucinogenic per se, but whatever is in that
It releases your inhibitions, is what it does.
I'm gonna look it up while you continue to tell your story.
So what he will do then, that gentleman, is he will put it in a cup, and you go around the circle, and he will give you kava. That's that water, which surprisingly doesn't taste like pantyhose, but unsurprisingly tastes like drinking mud, like maybe soapy mud is what it tastes like. And the first couple drinks you have, at least my experience was that you don't really notice anything happening, but what you do notice is that everyone is like, this is a lot of fun. we're really having a lot of fun in this, sitting in a circle here, and then you start to realize that like Bozo over there in the corner is like drooling, and you're like, what an idiot. and then you start to try to tell him how dumb he is that he's drooling, but you can't quite make your mouth say the word drool. It comes out maybe like brool. And then you realize that your face is tingling at around 4 cups of the kava. And basically what you do is you just keep drinking this stuff. And now I have it that in a normal ceremony that you don't use this to excess. In the quote unquote ceremony I was in, we drank a lot of kava, and people were passing out basically. And it basically has, from what I hear, I don't know because I don't drink, so, but I hear it is a similar effect to consuming alcohol for a lot of people. It was some people were laughing a lot, like they thought everything was funny.
This is starting to make a lot more sense of how your ceremonial kava prepared with your ceremonial pantyhose led into you getting a tattoo.
So for me, I didn't really notice much effects other than my mouth getting numb and my face tingling and really having to pee. Until I woke up and I realized that I was like talking, like I came to myself and I was like, yeah. And someone was drawing on my back. And apparently we'd all as a group come up with the idea that it would be cool to give me a back tattoo in like Sharpie. And so a fine Tongan gentleman who was there, who's a former crack dealer, gang member.
Of course.
So I mean, this was a legit design on my back. Gave me this tattoo, and the problem is that the next day, I had to be somewhere, and I was at the time a Mormon missionary, so it was raining, and I was wearing a white shirt, and so everyone could see my giant back tattoo. So that was fun because it was like permanent marker. That was a long story, but if my kids ask me about that, I have to tell them that story, and they'll be like, "But why did you do that? Weren't you supposed? Wasn't that like a pretty strict kind of circumstance you were in, and wasn't that not really appropriate? And wasn't that like kind of racist that you were like, like bastardizing this like actual ceremony thing?" And
you're gonna have to look them straight in the eye and say, "Unfortunately, children, the answer to all those questions is yes."
Yeah, it's gonna be embarrassing. All right.
So my answer to this kind of defeats Andrew's earlier hypothesis that we were just trying to make him look bad and ourselves look good. Because
Finally.
So in, what was it? The 7th grade. I was in 7th grade. When I was in 7th grade, I was a bad person. I mean, just no doubt about it. I was a bad
It's
person.
a really specific time to be a bad person.
Well, I mean,
I think this is the opportunity where we have the picture of young Adam
No.
to show.
I wasn't in 7th grade then. I was a better person by that point. But like I had just moved 2 times in as many years. And so like I was kind of under a lot of stress and stuff. But I found a friend, and me and this friend decided that the funniest thing in the world was dead baby jokes, which
They're still pretty funny, but
Let me tell
future
you.
me wants to reiterate that, yes, I know those are bad things and I know they're not funny anymore. I want to say this.
They're
like,
still kind of funny.
future you is lying. Here's the thing that me and Aaron will sometimes come up with funny jokes that are too inappropriate to share.
I was just thinking about that.
And we'll text them to each other because we will appreciate it without offending anyone. And I would like to say that there weren't very many dead baby jokes involved, but there's been more than like 3 or 4.
Okay, anyway. So, like, maybe once I tell my story, you guys will kind of come around to my point of view a little bit. So, in 7th grade, I had a social studies teacher, and he always started off the class with a couple of jokes. And sometimes he would run out of jokes, and so he would ask for jokes from the class. And
Of middle schoolers.
it was always a good way. It was always a good way to start class, and I thought jokes were hilarious because we were in middle school, and it was better than him lecturing us about boring parts of history. So one day he asked for jokes from the class, and I'm like, oh, I am so ready for this moment. I've been preparing all week.
Now is my time to shine.
I have so many dead baby jokes, and it's definitely time to share my favorite one in front of my entire class of people and my
Did
teacher.
you like stand up with like index cards?
No. I only had
Like the big 4x5 ones or whatever.
I
they
wasn't doing a 5-minute set. There was just one joke. All right, so I raised my hand. He's like, Adam, let's hear a joke from you. And like previous to this, what everybody knew about me was that I was the straight-laced Mormon kid.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, this is the perfect moment. So I looked at him and I was like, this is the joke I told. I said, how many babies does it take to roof a house? And he was like, I don't know, because he didn't know what was coming. So he wasn't really suspicious of what I was asking him. And I said, it depends on how thin you slice them. And the entire class giggled and then was silent and horrified. And then he just looked at me, and he was like this large kind of like blubbery man, and he took off his thick glasses and he just put his head in his hands, and he was like, oh my gosh. And then like I could tell that I had affected him greatly, because like he wasn't speaking for a while, and then he put his glasses back on and he looked me straight in the eye and he goes, my wife and I lost our first child as an infant.
Oh no! Oh no! Wow! Gosh! At that point, you could have told the aristocrats joke and been better received.
There's no redemption.
Oh.
I mean, like, I get him in like, aren't you glad I didn't say banana? And he'd be like, that's not going to cover what you just did.
My first wife was a banana.
So yeah, I don't think I talked the rest of forever. And I mean, we had moved 2 times in his.
That's like a life scarring experience.
Yeah, we had moved like 2 times in as many years, and I was like, I don't think I can get my family to move again, but that sure would be nice.
Oh man, that's so bad. Oh, that's painful.
So yeah, I don't tell dead baby jokes anymore. So
yeah,
you just got to pick your audience better.
What?
I'm
yeah, only us. Feel free to tell us dead baby jokes.
good thing you guys are the only people who can hear this.
Yeah.
Okay, so the answer would probably be the most inappropriate or most embarrassing question would probably be the same question that Adam asked earlier in this podcast. And me answering truthfully.
I thought we had decided that you were lying.
Yeah, I know, I'm just joking. I just thought that'd be funny for the callback.
Well, it wasn't.
No, the worst question that my future children could ask. Like, I came up with this question, but I realized, like, oh, I don't really have a good answer for this. I just really wanted to hear your answers, and they've both been amazing. So it's been a win-win.
You always do that. You have something.
So, the worst question that I think they can ask is, hey, so what did you do with your life during your early 20s? And the answer would be nothing. And like, no, like, did you work or go to school or anything like that? No, like, I stared at a wall for like 5 years after high school. So, like, any advice after, like, hey, so what'd you do after high school? I'm like, nothing.
I imagine I imagine your future kids asking you this, like, Daddy, what did you do when you were like 20? And you just look at him and you get up from your chair and you just walk out.
Just close the door behind you. They look at each other. What just happened?
On your way out, you're like, I'm going to get cigarettes. And then you just never come back because you can't face your children.
This happens 3 times with 3 different families.
Yes,
to start.
Guess gotta start another family. They don't ask stupid questions. Just walk away.
Oh, that would be bad for me too. I wasted a lot of I'm still like I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I still don't know. I feel like if I do have kids, I'm just gonna have a lot of like explaining of like, you guys are a miracle. Like, the fact that you're here is like a modern day parting of the Red Sea. Like, this is proof of divine power. Because I don't know how this happened. I don't know how it happened.
I would just be like, well, I spent most of the first half of my 20s regretting this dead baby joke I told in 7th grade.
Oh, and then I was in therapy for like 4 years working that out.
As long as you don't ask how you met your mother and then go on for 8 seasons without answering the question.
Oh, that show's over. That's a
Thank
good thing.
goodness.
Oh.
It was funny for like an episode and a half.
It was funny until I realized that like the character Barney Stinson wasn't gonna like figure out that he's a terrible person.
Right. It really bothered
And
me.
that like being a terrible person isn't that funny.
For some reason, I watched, all of the seasons except the last one because they were on Netflix and I was in college.
Yeah.
And like I started getting into it. I was like, yeah, Barney Stinson, like he's a character and he's going through some character development and like this is satisfying. And then they just like the next episode they're just like, never mind. And I was like, oh,
Never mind. He's just still a misogynist idiot.
okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Like,
Well, guys, don't worry because Big Bang Theory is still a TV series.
insert laugh track here.
Yeah.
Please do. I really hope you do. Actually,
I'll do it.
write it down. Make a note of it.
Drop a marker. Laugh track goes here.
Hey, we finished all the questions.
Hey, we did a show. That was a show. We did it.
That was a show, and I think we had more character development than How I Met Your Mother.
Hey, let's do some follow up and feedback. So we hope you enjoyed the show. That's how it works. We just want to do some follow-up and feedback. We don't have any like listener questions or anything this week. We don't have anything special. We're not opening the mailbag.
No.
But I know that people want to know, how was your podcation? We're just coming off of like, what was that, like a 3-week break?
Yeah, it was something like that. So
wow.
It felt a lot longer.
It feels like we haven't done this in like a year.
Yeah. It's actually good though, because it feels fresh again.
Yeah, it feels good. I took some finals.
Oh, I did too.
I think one of those weeks I didn't leave my room.
That was my spring break.
Yeah.
So during spring break, here in Idaho, everyone goes back home.
Because it's Idaho.
Because there is no spring in Idaho.
Spring doesn't happen until June.
I decided I'm going to stay here over spring break, and so I just sat by myself for a week.
Was it like that movie where like what is that movie called where the guy and the girl get like locked in Target?
Oh,
what's that called? You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds super
There's a movie.
If it's
that's
not a
called-
movie, it should be.
That does that. No, it is. It is for sure a movie. I don't know what it's called.
Career Opportunities?
I don't know. It's not important.
Yeah, it's Career Opportunities.
Anyway, so
It's a John Hughes movie.
no, it's not like that.
Jennifer Connelly.
Right, now I know exactly what movie you're talking about. All I had to say was Jennifer
Yeah,
Connelly.
I feel like everyone's gone, so you just like run the school. You know what I mean? You're just like, it's like Last Man on Earth kind of situation.
I go to Taco Bell. I'm the only person there. But it's surprisingly because there's a lot more old people during spring break because like they know the kids aren't around. So like they like come out.
They come out of their holes.
So I go to the grocery store because usually I go to the grocery store and there's like all these college students there because they need food. They eat sometimes. But this days I thought I was going to go and there's going to be no one there, but no, it was just all old people. Like they knew. It was like
they look back like
it was like the returning of the swallows from Capistrano. It was like they came like on time all together.
Do you think that they have like an old person call? Like one person peeks out and there's no youngins around. So like, we can go out. They're gone. It's safe for us. We can drive as fast as we want on the roads.
Or as slow as we want.
I have a feeling it's a newsletter.
We can write as many checks as we want in the checkout line.
It's like a carrier pigeon system.
Yeah.
There's just a telegram that gets sent to everyone.
Yeah, so that was my break.
The children are gone. Stop. They're on spring break. Stop. We can go to the grocery store now. Stop.
Oh, so that sounds, it's so pathetic, but that sounds amazing.
It was actually kind of nice for like the first 3 or 4 days.
I've become such a bum. I'm unapologetic. Like, I really, like, I know I should feel bad, but I don't. I don't care. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to do anything. And I'm fine with that.
I ended up
It's great.
buying Skyrim for my computer. And that was fun.
Oh, man.
True story. For like maybe like 3 months, I thought that was called Scrim.
Scrim.
That's a weird choice of
I was
name.
like, with a Y in there, it was supposed to, I don't know, some sort of like elvish tongue.
Scribe.
Skyrim. Do you play the Skyrim?
Skyrim.
Anyway, so feedback that people want to listen
I
to.
didn't do anything at all. I just worked. My life went on normally, but it was nice to not have to worry too much about the podcast. But still, I'm very glad to be back.
I did start to miss it though. I was like,
I did.
I have jokes to tell. So
I missed you guys.
Aw, miss you guys.
We didn't really talk that much. I think we were sick of each other.
I was
I'm not lying. I talked to Andrew.
I was
a lot.
sick for a week, like physically ill. So there's that.
I just felt well. See, I would try to talk to you. I would try to reach out to you, but every time you respond, I could tell you were like having like some sort of like breakdown or something. So I couldn't.
Yeah, I was in crisis mode for most of those 3 weeks. So
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, well, that's nice. Well, we'll have nothing else to talk about. This season's gonna be good, unlike all those other seasons.
so long as I managed to not talk about my depression very much.
I don't know,
And
man.
then
Just,
laugh track.
Laugh track the whole thing.
So I was depressed for a
I'm
few
excited.
weeks and then laugh track. Oh man, I kind of want like a little, like, you know those like little toys that you can carry around where you flip it over and it makes like a moo cow sound.
Yeah.
What?
I kind of want one of those. Like you turn it over and it goes. "Meh." Yeah, I kind of want one of those, where but it's just like canned laughter.
I don't even know what this toy is you're
Are
talking
you sure
about.
it's like a tube or like a?
What?
Oh my gosh.
Like a kaleidoscope?
It's not
Of
usually that
moose?
long. It's like half the height of an actual can, but you just turn it over and there's some weight in the middle that runs air through some sort of series of holes that
Look at
sounds
that.
like a moo cow.
Moo can.
It's called a moo box.
Oh, I'm looking at country moo
No,
cans.
it's a moo box.
If you know what I mean.
I thought I did. I thought we were talking about those cans that go moo, but I mean apparently not.
Moo cans. This will never make it into the podcast. Thanks for listening. Remember, your ratings fuel us. Go to 3g3q.co/rate to leave your review, and you can subscribe to receive new episodes the moment they're released by going to 3g3q.co/subscribe. You can find show notes for this episode at 3g3q.co/401, and we'd love to hear from you. So tweet your questions with the hashtag Ask3G. Leave a voicemail or text at 760-881-4382, or go to 3g3q.co/ask to submit it via Tumblr. Where can people get a hold of you guys?
Yeah. So if you would like to contact me, I will most likely contact you back if you hit me up on the Twitter. And I am _SAV.
I'm on Twitter at @thatadamkid, and I know enough about technology to not call it the Twitter.
Dude, I know where you live. I
down.
will hire someone that lives in your room named Zach to kill you.
Whoa. Hey, I'm on Twitter at Aaron LM Goodwin, and that's also me everywhere. Instagram,
Just life in general, really.
YouTube. Hey, that's because of my name. I'm everywhere. Find me. Let's link up. Let's link up on.
Let's get on LinkedIn.
Network.
I can send you my LinkedIn contact.
Other than that, him on there on LinkedIn too, pro podcaster. Other than that, goodbye. Have a great day, and remember to question everything.
So I started my new job 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty awesome.
Don't talk about it too much because we want to save it for follow up, right?
Oh,
right?
no,
Right?
it's not that interesting.
Oh, it's not that good.
It's like no one really wants to hear about it. Like honestly, like it's 90% watching Netflix and waiting for things to happen. And it's
Sounds like my kind of job.
It's pretty awesome. Like I'm glad I took the pay cut instead of going back home and working at Five Guys because I'd have been stressed out and hated life. But I just sit and convert analog video into digital and have to watch that. And
that video that you posted of the dancing. What year? What year was that from?
2004.
Oh, it seemed like it was from 1970,
right? No. I should have. There was this other video yesterday that I should have taken a poster or a picture of, but my boss is there, and I didn't know if he was going to appreciate it or not. But it was like a 1994, no, probably earlier than that, like 93 video about basketball offense, like those old infomercials. Remember those? Like the baseball player, but this is basketball.
Yeah.
And the coach was like this guy from like New Jersey with a super thick accent, this white guy, and he was like using this slang that I had never heard before. He's like, take it to jail, take it to jail. Wide body, wide body. I was like, what is going on?
And boom goes the dynamite.
Yes.
Take it to
Take
jail.
it to jail. I'm like, what?
I don't know. Somehow I feel like that's probably racist.
Well, it was to a black kid, so
take him to jail.
like what?
How come you never said that to the other players?
That just means take it to the hoop, obviously. You've never heard that term before? Take it to jail.
Take it to prison. Incarcerated. Are we still talking about basketball?
3 strikes, you're in jail.
He kept saying wide body over and over again.
Wide body.
Just make your body wide. I'm like, I understood what that meant. Thanks.
All right. Well, hey, let's talk about how we're going to do the show now.
Yeah, I think with the format change, we're going to start off talking about some sensitive topics. We're going to touch on the Baltimore riots and then just go right on into gay marriage, and we're just going to touch on it. And then we're going to probably level off with Boko Haram.
Just alienate anyone who's ever listened to us.
Hey, I made Glenn Beck sign Andrew WK to a podcast. Did you guys hear about that?
No, I didn't.
No.
When I was on Better Know a Jackal, there was one of the questions was who should have a podcast that doesn't, and I said Andrew WK for sure because he's awesome.
Right.
Today, I saw a news release that the Blaze Network is going to do a radio show / podcast of Andrew WK.
So you're saying he's a listener?
I'm pretty sure Glenn Beck is a fan of mine.
I'm sorry.
And I don't know what to think about that.
You should probably be upset. You should probably be taking a shower right now.
I swear I saw on Twitter today that Andrew WK was coming on like the Eureka podcast or something. I swear I saw that.
Wait, really?
I might have been delirious. I don't know.
He needs to come on our podcast.
I would love to have Andrew WK on.
I'm the one who influenced him to do this whole thing.
It would be amazing. He could teach me how to party. And then he would be like, Adam, you already party. Partying is in your heart, not what you do.
What if we had an episode where it was Andrew Hooster like a rooster was guesting, Andrew Savage was hosting it, and Andrew WK came on as a guest, and it was 3 Andrews, 3 questions.
I feel like that's not even our show anymore. You've created
that's a
new
new
show.
Oh, part of the 3G network.
I think there's already.
We should come up with fake announcements.
There's already a 3G network.
I think what we need to do is we need to create a name for the network our show is on.
Just say it's on a network and never mention it any other place or time.
Yeah. Oh, and we'll just keep making references to it.
But
no,
how we're
the
disappointing
only
our
references
bosses.
we make is like in the intro and the outro.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like it's a real thing.
What should we call it?
I don't know. But my hope is that it'll become a real thing after a while.
You're listening to the 3 Guys, 3 Questions hosted on the Conundrum Network.
Quandary
Conundrum.
Quandary Conundrum.
Quandary and Conundrum are synonyms. You can't like use one to describe the other.
Yeah. That's true.
That bothers me. I'm going to put my foot down on that. I was like, that's not going to happen.
Conundrum. Too many syllables, maybe? Posit? Posit Network.
Posit.
Because it's also a direction about what you should do when you listen to our show.
Okay.
The National Posit Podcast Network.
Posit.
International, not national.
International Posit Podcast Network.
Podcast IPPN.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Our bosses at IPPN are really happy that we've decided to name them.
Welcome to 3 Guys, 3 Questions on the... Oh, I got... I'm doing this.
We'd like to thank IPPN for picking us up for our 4th season. We look forward to their patronage.
Wait, you can't say IPPN network.
Yeah, it's just IPPN.
Didn't I just say IPPN?
No, but you said the IPPN network. So you said network twice.
Sorry, I'm a bad person.
It's like an ATM machine.
Yeah.
Well, we can't say IPPN, so we're going to say on the international...
International Posit Podcast Network.
Oh, man. We're going to have to make a logo. Put it on the website.
I just downloaded a free trial of Illustrator, so I might try to make a logo.
You should do it.
First time Illustrator user logo. That sounds about right for something called the International Posit Podcast Network.
I guess
I've used it like
all the time in the world.
3 or 4 times in the past.
You know what? We should actually start out with saying, with saying you're listening to the International Posit Podcast Network. Let's do a soundbite that we put on the top. How does that sound?
You're listening to the International Posit Podcast Network.
Oh man, we should. I wish.
Okay, say it one more. We'll have Adam. Wait, We're all gonna say it, and I'm gonna cut it to make it sound like radio, super radio scuzzbag.
Should we do it in different, like a harmony or something?
Oh, I can no.
You're listening to the International Positive Podcast Network.
International Podcast Network, and just do it all harmony, like those stupid.
So here's the only problem with that plan is that I don't know how to harmonize.